can draw. I can draw. I can paint in watercolor. Hey guys, this is Caleb King of thecalebking.com. You're here at C2E2, and I just want you to say, hey, subscribe to Raze Chaos.
Welcome back, everybody. My name is Raze Chaos. You've made it back to my channel, and we are almost done with this year. I am so excited. This has been one heck of a year to get through, and a lot of things are coming in the new year. There's no escaping it. The world has gone through some hard rights, some really hard lefts, and done a couple loop-de-loops. But still we persevere, because we persevere, or we keep going, because we can't let moss attach itself to us. And every new year is a new beginning, and every day is a new beginning. So whatever you want to go do, do it. You're in control of every dang thing that you do. No matter what the world throws at you, it's up to you on how you're going to react to it. And Raze just says, let's make it weird. And so to end the year, Raze decided to to show off the character known as Beast Boy. This is from the Titans series. The Titans TV series that they had on the DC streaming service, which was later absorbed into HBO Max. And we're going to go ahead and put this guy away, and we're going to talk Beast Boy. Okay, so we've got Beast Boy, who is a rather unique character in his beginnings. He was basically inflicted with a very deadly disease when he was very young, and in order to cure it, his adoptive parents and the chief from the Doom Patrol was able to find a cure for him, but it essentially turned his body completely green when it did so. It also gave him the ability to change into any animal he could imagine. And he did start out with the Doom Patrol, and the Doom Patrol had its ups and downs, and it never really caught on for quite a while. So when George Perez and Marv Wolfman decided to revamp the Teen Titans, they were like, we've got this character. He's an excellent character, and he's a teenager. Let's pull him into our new Teen Titans series. And that's exactly what they did, and that is where he really kind of started flourishing. They changed his name to Changeling, and it wasn't until I think it was close to the 2000s that they actually allowed him to change his name back to Beast Boy. And the reasoning for that in the comics was that he was also a child star. Mind you, Rita Farr is his adoptive mother. The Elasti woman from the Doom Patrol is his adoptive mother, and she was a movie star, and she helped him get into movies. So very young, he was a TV star. They could do a lot with little green kid on TV. Eventually, that wasn't for him, but after spending probably about a decade or two as Changeling in the comics, it was really kind of a no-brainer that if he changed his name back to Beast Boy, he would get a lot more recognition because the name had value. A lot of people, which is funny, a lot of people didn't know him as Beast Boy because he became more famous as Changeling. But it was one of those name changes that just really stuck, and he's been a fixture of the Teen Titans ever since, all the way up into the show, which I really thought it was cool. They had a whole episode dedicated to showing him coming from the Doom Patrol first. My biggest issue with him in the TV series is that he only ever turned into a tiger. And I did not get that. I mean, I understood that the tiger was a CG tiger, and that kind of stuff costs money to produce. That I totally get that and everything. But is it really that hard to have him do an off-panel or off-screen transformation into another green animal? It's like, you don't even have to paint the animal. You just put the green tint on the thing. But yeah, they could have done a lot more with that. But I think that they wanted to show like it was a thing with him not being able to change. It was a friggin' cost constraint. You know it was. Because I mean, otherwise, why would you restrict a character on one of the most exciting things about him? If you could turn into any animal, I mean, in the comics, he's constantly changing because no matter what he turns into, he can still talk, and they do that in the Titans animated series, which was heavily based on what the new Teen Titans that was created by Wolfman and Perez. That version actually used to sell out. Used to sell the X-Men when it was big. Hence why they actually had them team up, and yeah, they actually did one of the Marvel DC crossovers way back then, pitting the Teen Titans and the X-Men against each other in a very, very interesting crossover. It really, I mean, when you read it, it absolutely made sense, even though they were from two different universes. The only way it could have been better for me, to be perfectly honest, is if it happened after Dick Grayson became Nightwing, because he was still Robin in that, and I was like, no, okay, well, hey, you can't have everything. He was still there. But we're going to go ahead and take this guy out and have a look. They got him in this great pose of him crouched down. What I love about this figure and how they did this in the TV show, which I really appreciated, was that his jacket is the red and white, which was the colors he had as Changeling. So it was a nice little callback to the time, to the costume that he wore in the Teen Titans when he originally joined it. And putting the green paw print on the side. It's obviously a tiger paw because that was the only thing he turned into, which I thought was actually a lot of fun. One question I always had about Beast Boy that they never really explained or really even talked about. For one, if you read the original run of the Teen Titans, the new Teen Titans where he originally joined, every time they show him like in a bathing suit, which yeah, they did that a lot. There were a lot of scenes where you got to see Beast Boy without his shirt on, or in like a little pair of swimsuits, because they were teenagers and they did have access to a pool, and yes, teenagers would go for that, especially in the 80s. But one of the things they actually, that George Perez did when he would draw him, is that you would see that he had body hair. He had very visible body hair, not to an inhuman extent, but it made sense that his legs would be hairier than a normal person's, because yeah, he turned into different animals and everything. The one question that I always had was, does he get haircuts? Because if he turns into a lion, so to speak, he grows out this huge mane and everything, and then he transforms back and he's got his short hair, which was in a very distinctive hairstyle in the comics, which was very dated as well. That it's a very 80s young teenager haircut that's for definite sure. But yeah, it always made me wonder. It's just like, if they hint at him having to get a haircut or something, it's just like, can he control that? Like, the same way he does his transformations. I mean, would that be something that he had to worry about, is growing his hair? Could you shave his head and him grow it right back? Yeah, that's a really interesting little segue. But no, one of the things I always loved about him in the Teen Titans was that he still had close ties to the members of the Doom Patrol. Because, as I said, Rita Farr was his adoptive mother. Steve Dayton, Mento of the Doom Patrol, was his adopted father. And so when the Doom Patrol blew up and everybody thought they were dead, and only Robot Man was around, you saw Robot Man show up in the Teen Titans quite often because that was the closest thing he had to family. And so you get to keep up with Robot Man in the Teen Titans, which I thought was an absolute. It made you want to learn more about the Doom Patrol because you had these two people that were in it previously. And I think that it was that little bond that kept the Doom Patrol alive long enough for them to finally get their resurgence in later continuity. So I think putting Garfield Logan into the Teen Titans basically kept that whole franchise on life support the entire time he was there. But I thought this was a very apt one to do for the last Tuesday Single Pop video of the year. So yeah, that's gonna be it for Raze for 2024. And I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here now, but never forget, the life is full of odd moments. You never know when you're gonna be defined.